Hello, everyone, and welcome to this very fun presentation. I'm so excited to be presenting this to you all. My name is Melanie Hill, and you are part of Power of Work. All right. So I'm very excited because today we're going to be talking about the power of positive affirmation. Isn't that just amazing? Transforming lives through the science of positivity. This is one of my favorite things to share. So I'm really excited for you all. Okay, what's the literal meaning of a positive affirmation? Positive affirmations, it's a positive statement that are repeated to oneself with the aim of fostering a positive mindset. All right. Now, I'm very I'm so excited to talk about positive affirmations today. But something that happens to me a lot as a manifesting coach is that people come to me and they're like, okay, how can I get into saying positive affirmations? How can I start manifesting? And this is where I go, well, we are manifesting every single day. What we want to do is to shift into positive mindsets because unfortunately we live in this world where we're saying affirmations to ourselves all the time, whether these may be I'm ugly, I don't have money, I hate this, oh, I always get sick, that's horrible. All of those are affirmations that we are manifesting into our current 3D, our current reality. So, what if we could have the power to change a situation with our thoughts? And the best thing about this is that we can. We absolutely can. So, a positive affirmation can help you shift and eliminate all the limiting beliefs in our conscious and subconscious mind. So, here at Power of Work, I know we love our research, right? So, I really want to share with you a look into this. So, the development of self affirmation theory has led to many neuroscientific research aimed to investigating whether we can see any change in the brain when we self affirm in positive ways. And it's like those little experiments that we have also seen where we speak to one plant in with positive affirmations and negative affirmations to the other one. And results are amazing, right? This is just as tangible because there is MRI evidence, right? Where there's this suggesting that a certain neural pathways are increased when people practice self-affirmation tasks. If you want to be super specific, what happens is that the ventromedial prefrontal cortex, right, that is involved in the positive evaluation and self-relative information processing, this becomes more active when we consider our personal values. So this is really amazing. And then we have the results of a study by Falk and his colleagues that suggest that when we choose to practice positive affirmations, we're better able to view otherwise threatening information as more self relevant and valuable. So, right now, we're going to see in a moment how this can have several benefits because it relates to how we process information about our own selves. Okay, so what's one positive benefit about positive affirmations? Lower rates of depression. And this is somehow not a surprise, right? So let's say that we have all of that new view of ourselves and we're saying all of these positive affirmations to ourselves. I am valued, I'm worthy, I am enough, I am worth of everything that I dream and desire, I'm so abundant. our brain is being completely shifted. So obviously, sorry about that, the depression rates are so much lower. Now, lower levels of the stress, very similar, right? Because when we're not given room to worry and anxiety to take over us, right? Because we're doing this shift in our brains, then if we get anxious about anything, we're like, oh no, but everything always works out in my favor. Everything is always good for me because I am surrounded by positivity. So that is another shift that happens. Therefore, we have a better psychological, right? Because when we go deep down to the root of what happened to us, like why are we were getting depressed, why is anxiety, and we target those traumas, those limiting beliefs that we have that there have been ingrained in us, and we're aiming them with our positive affirmations. Therefore, mental health has the same shift. Now, we also have better cardiovascular health and overall better physical well being, right? As well. Why? Well, our hearts are definitely very connected to our emotions, and we know that our health overall is connected to our emotions. Every sickness is connected to a feeling first. So, if we are doing all of the things or feeling our emotions and knowing of the core of them and helping them, treating them in some way with these positive affirmations, our heart is quite literal going to work better because it's a whole body shift, right? And we also have better coping skills, right? Just because what we were saying similar, if we still have a circumstance in a 3D that we do not like, and we're like, well, that's still not it. We don't break out anymore, right? We're not like, oh no, that's awful, and get into this little spin of never ending situation. What happens is that now we have this goal where we're like, oh, that's still not the circumstance that I want to live in, but that's okay. We persist. We persist in enough affirmations because you know that everything always works out in your favor. You know that you're worthy. You know that you're abundant. You know that you're the luckiest person in the world. You know that all of these things that you're affirming to yourself. So you persist, and your mind is like, oh, absolutely. That's just how it happens to us. Right? And then let's see what happens. Let's add a little science behind that, right? So we have the neuroplasticity. And what happens is that the brain's ability to like reorganize itself by forming new neural connections. Affirmations can rewire our brains for positivity. So we're quite literally creating new connections. We are rewiring our brain to have all these neural connections that are their go-tos in anything that happens in our lives. Also with the reticular activating system, right? So we have a RAS, a part of the brain that filters information. So positive affirmations help direct the RAS to focus on positive aspects. So that is why it becomes this great coping skill because it doesn't matter if we're completely not shift or manifest 100% what we want in our reality. This is just how we're wired now. So our brain can go like, oh, negative thought. No, 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 no. Bye-bye, bye-bye, and go into our affirmations and be like, that's okay because I know that I create the best reality because I know that everything that I want flows to me easily, right? So our brain is kind of just helping out at this point because we are rewiring it. Isn't that just like so exciting? Okay, understanding the positive thinking and self talk. It's also really important to know that the positive thinking and self talk go together, right? They're one and the same. And there is this phrase that I'm going to read out to you. Same thought creates the same behavior. the same behavior creates the same reality. And another thing, a thought is a reality if you give it the power. So let's say that we are thinking this same positive thought over and over again, and that's have created the behaviors that we have in our lives, therefore our realities, right? So what we're trying to do here is that with all this positive self-talk that we're having, with this positive thinking, you're quite literally saying this self-talk to yourself, right? And you're like, oh God, I'm so worthy of the job of my dreams. And then you connect it to the visualization of that. And you connect it with the feeling of the knowing of like, oh my God, I'm so happy and thankful in this new job. Therefore, you're going to act on it. Therefore, it's going to show up in your reality. But then we have the part, right? Of like, a thought is a reality if given that power. Sometimes when we kind of understand the power of our brains, we freak out over like, let's say you have a thought of like having a car crash, and then you're like, oh no, oh my goodness, I just thought that, that thought crossed my brain. What am I going to do? It's a ride, right? It's all right because you're not given the power. Just the same thing that happens with your positive currently. Maybe you're like, oh, but I thought I would in the lottery, but you didn't give power to that. You didn't truly believe it. You have the limiting belief of like, you're never going to win the lottery. That never happens. So obviously it's not going to happen. You have to know that if you have a negative thought and you're like, ah, that's silly. Okay, bye-bye. It's not going to happen. But if you give the power to it, it has the power of happening. Therefore, the same with the positive things. Then you can choose, oh no, what I'm going to give the power to is going to be to the positive thoughts, the positive things that I want. Therefore, they will become the reality. Practice positive thinking. Okay. When you're in a generally positive frame of mind, you're better able to deal with everyday stress in a more productive manner. This capacity might play a role in well documented health advantages of optimistic thinking. Absolutely, right? Because it's the same thing that we were saying. So if this is like the frame of mind that we have now, then everything that shows up in our daily lives is not going to be an obstacle. It's going to be an opportunity to grow, to keep shifting into what we want, right? Now, what we want is to what we want is to change your fears. What we want is to change fears and limiting beliefs into positive affirmations. Let's say that you have this limiting belief that nobody loves me, nobody loves you. That goes with feeling that you're unworthy of love. So that has manifested in your relationships of not having a positive relationship with anyone. So you shifted to, oh, I'm so loved. Love always surrounds me, right? Or let's say I never have enough money. So you shifted to I'm so wealthy. I am always see tons of money flowing my way. Or you're like, I get sick all the time. So you shifted to I'm so healthy. I feel my very best self every single day, right? You have to be very honest with yourself. You really have to take that moment of time and go within and write down all your limiting beliefs. You're like, oh, this is my belief in love. This is my belief in my career. This is my belief in my money. This is my belief about myself. And you write the opposite as your affirmation. And of course, And of course, you want to make it a routine out of it, right? Create a positive routine where you implement your positive affirmations. So let's say in the morning you wake up and you do this great meditation and you visualize and felt your positive reality, and then you say your affirmations in the mirror, right? Because that's quite powerful. But you have to understand that this has to go throughout the day. You don't want to be like positive in the morning and then throughout the day be like, oh, fuck this, I hate this, I feel awful, I hate my job, because it has to be consistent. So maybe if a circumstance pops up, you affirm in that moment. When you drink your water, you say affirmations, which is so strong, right? You find a way to include it in a positive thing. You're maybe at your work, oh, isn't it just how amazing that when I'm typing at work, I literally get wealthier and wealthier? I'm just getting paid to exist. And maybe you will add it to your bedtime routine. You want to end the day with affirmations, right? And then you have your restful affirmations and you go to bed and you sleep. And the last thing that your brain is thinking and seeing are your positive affirmations and the reality that you want to live. Therefore, everything comes together into creating the life that you desire. Isn't that just awesome? I'm so happy for everyone that joined and that is watching this video, even in the YouTube channel, because these are so many great tools that you can add into your everyday life. Thank you so much.